Cheat and Chat Talk pada webinar kita pada hari ini. Nah, hari ini kita ditemani sama tutor mantap kita lagi yaitu Faisal. Hai Sar, gimana nih harinya?
My day is good so far. I'm really looking forward to this session actually. I hope
Mhm.
I can yap a lot here. Semoga
Eh,
bisa ngobrol banyak di sini ya.
Ya, we hope so. Oke, daripada kita yapingnya agak nggak terarah, mending kita diarahin sama Sir Faisal aja. Sir Faisal, bisa shine.
Right. Okay. Wonderful. So I'll take over the show now. Aku akan ambil alih sekarang. Uh, aku izin share screen ya. Sebentar, sebentar. Oke. Okay. Is my screen available? Apakah layar aku tampak dengan jelas? I assume no. Let's
It's
see.
still black, sir. Oh, okay. That's sir. Let's go.
Right. So, um, okay. Hello, everyone. So, what is actually our meeting today? Not meeting, session. Sebenarnya sesi hari ini tentang apa sih? Um, Kak Bila dan Kak Gita juga udah bilang sebelumnya. Judulnya adalah Chill and Chat, Talk More, Worry Less. Jadi ini kegiatan yang sifatnya cukup santai-santai aja. Nah, so we're just chilling and we're just chatting, specifically about English. Jadi kita akan nyantai, kita akan ngobrol, lebih spesifiknya tentang speaking in English atau berbicara dengan bahasa Inggris. Nah, di sini I will also use some illustration. Akan menggunakan beberapa ilustrasi yang sebenarnya hanya pemanis saja. So yeah, just to make the session a little bit more chill than usual webinar. Jadi untuk membuat sesinya lebih lebih chill aja daripada webinar pada umumnya ya. Nah, jadi aku ingin ekspektasi aku terhadap meeting ini, ekspektasi nggak tuh? So what I hope to see in this meeting, apa yang aku harapkan ada di meeting ini adalah chatnya yang banyak, chillnya juga banyak. Seperti yang teman-teman lihat di sini, anggap saja kita ini sekelompok petualang yang sedang bersantai di api unggun di malam hari, berbagi cerita, berbagi kisah petualangan dan lain sebagainya. So yeah, that's something that I'm looking forward to do today. Let's move to the next slide. Oh, by the way, before we move on, I'd like to formally introduce myself. Walaupun sudah diintroduce oleh Kak Gita dan Kak Bila, saya orangnya agak narsis. Jadi saya mau introduce sekali lagi. My name is Faisal Nurbagus. Namaku Faisal Nurbagus. Dan aku adalah tutor di Bansa Foundation. Bicara bahasa Inggris itu adalah sesuatu yang cukup menarik bagi saya. Beberapa orang mungkin menganggap ini passion saya dan ya beberapa orang itu mungkin benar. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to address these four things. Yang ingin aku lakukan hari ini adalah ngobrol tentang empat hal ini yang menurutku speaker bahasa Inggris di level apapun pasti cukup familiar. Pertama, kenapa kita takut bicara bahasa Inggris? Kedua, mungkin kata-kata penting, bukan penting sih, sedikit kata-kata esensial yang akan berguna di berbagai situasi, akan sangat ngebantu banget. Yang ketiga itu bagaimana kita membuat obrolan tetap jalan, keeping the conversation going. I think this is struggle in English or in Indonesia. Menurutku nomor tiga ini ya struggle yang ada di bahasa Inggris maupun bahasa Indonesia. Dan yang terakhir itu adalah bagaimana kita bisa berpikir dalam bahasa Inggris, alih-alih berpikir dalam translasi. How do we think in English as opposed to thinking in translation? I'll explain later why it's different. Oke, yang pertama. Ngeri nggak tuh? Why are we afraid? Kenapa kita takut banget bahasa Inggris? Lebih spesifik, kenapa kita takut banget ngobrol bahasa Inggris? Bicara dalam bahasa Inggris, menggunakan bahasa Inggris dalam tutur. Wah. So I've boiled down three reasons why this might happen. Aku sudah menentukan pada dasarnya kenapa hal ini terjadi. Ada tiga alasan yang menurutku menjadi dasar kenapa ini terjadi. Yang pertama itu judgment. We all fear judgment. Kita semua takut salah dan dihakimi, definitely. But maybe people will say my English is bad, for example. Maybe people will say um, my English is not that good, for example. We are always afraid of speaking in English because we're afraid of judgment. Kita tuh seringkali takut ngomong bahasa Inggris karena kita takut dihakimi. Which is fair, karena Inggris itu bukan bahasa pertama kita. Tapi yang kedua, ini agak unik. Beberapa itu agak takut bicara bahasa Inggris itu karena fitting in atau mencoba untuk membaur dengan sebuah tempat. Tidak tahu kenapa, tapi terkadang tidak bisa bicara bahasa Inggris dalam tanda kutip, itu seolah-olah menjadi sesuatu yang berkonotasi positif dalam beberapa situasi. Contohnya kayak, oh, ya, aku juga gak bisa bahasa Inggris, aku juga gak bisa bahasa Inggris. It might be a common struggle at one point. Mungkin itu adalah apa ya, sama-sama struggle dan sama-sama menemukan pertemanan di situ. Tapi seringkali kita jadi ikut-ikutan melihat hal tersebut sebagai sesuatu yang apa ya, trivial. Melihat bahasa Inggris sebagai sesuatu yang mengerikan. Mungkin. Jadi kita tuh fitting in ke hal tersebut. Yang terakhir agak berat, colonialism. Penjajahan adalah alasan kenapa kita takut bicara bahasa Inggris. Kenapa aku bisa bilang begitu? Most of the time we see English as like this serious language dalam tanda kutip. Kita takut untuk bicara bahasa Inggris kan takut salah, kita melihatnya sebagai sesuatu yang serius, kita melihatnya sesuatu yang kita asosiasikan dengan pekerjaan, pendidikan dan lain sebagainya. Padahal bahasa Inggris sama dengan bahasa yang lain itu sebenarnya sama aja bahasa, it's a language dan tiap language itu sebenarnya aneh. It has its own quirks, it has its own weirdness and everything. But people are so afraid of not being able to speak like a bule. Orang takut banget gak bisa ngomong seperti bule that they don't speak at all at the end of the day. Nah, ini adalah ya impact atau efek dari kolonialisme yang meletakkan penjajah di atas orang yang dijajah. For example, so this is one of the reasons why we might be afraid to speak in English. Agak berat, but yeah, I think that's one of the reasons. So, I will start by inviting some of you guys here to speak. Aku ingin mengundang beberapa teman-teman di sini untuk bicara. Tidak bicara yang berat, bicara yang simple aja. Nah, ini adalah seseorang. So this is Joan. He's a warrior looking for his missing cat. He's a quiet and careful person. He likes to collect magic items and keep it in his home. Say something to him. Can will someone say something to Joan? Maybe say hello. Maybe say how are you? Anything. Ask him about his day. Maybe.
Okay, maybe I can give some example like, um, hey Joan, how long have you been here?
Yep, yep. Can also say that. I think let's just keep it light. Joan is not a living person. I mean, let's just assume he is. But we can say anything to him. We can say, how are you, Joan? Where have you been? For example. What kind of magic items are you collecting? For example. I want us to approach English in a similar way that we approach this picture, in a way that it is something meant to be simple and light. Kita harus mendekati atau pendekatan kita pada bahasa Inggris itu harusnya sesuatu yang sederhana dan ringan. Seperti kita ngobrol dengan Joan ini. Anyone would like to try asking something, saying something to him?
Don't be afraid, guys. Let's try together. This is your time to try to speak, guys. True, true. You can try everything that you want to talk about, Joanne.
Okay, let me try. Hi, Joanne. Uh, how are you?
Yep, that's good. That's good. Definitely start with asking someone how are you is a good first try. Jadi bertanya tentang apa kabar itu sangat bagus karena again, it means we care, right? Dulu dengan orang tersebut. Anyone else would like to try? If not, there's someone else I'd like you guys to meet. Ada orang lain yang ingin, ya, go ahead, silakan.
Hello, Joan. Could you tell us more detail about your cat because so we can help you to finding it? Thank you.
That is good. That is good. Ya, memang betul. Joan lagi cari kucingnya yang hilang. Thank you for asking about his cat. He definitely will appreciate that. All right, speaking about cats, I want you guys to meet someone else with their own pet. This is Randall and Gran. They are forest patroller. Randall is a kind man who love nature. Gran is a big dog who love eating. Come on, go ahead, say something to them.
Mm. Hi, Randall and Gran. How long you guys meet to each other?
Good question. From Kak Bila, anyone else would like to ask something? Or maybe just say hi. You can also say that.
I also want to try, sir. Hi, Randall and Crane. What kind of food do you like?
Good answer. Grant's a big dog who love eating. What kind of food does he like? Good question. I also wonder that. Anyone else would like to try? Maybe you guys wanna ask, oh itu di ekornya Grant apa tuh? Gitu. Or like, itu bola lampu kah yang dibawa? For example, right? So many things you can do. So again, if anyone wants to say something, go ahead. But I just want to yap a little bit. Aku ingin ngobrol aja dikit. Jadi pendekatan kita ke dalam bicara dalam bahasa Inggris itu, menurutku seharusnya ya ringan dan sederhana saja. Jangan lihat bahasa Inggris sebagai bahasa yang profesional banget, akademis banget, ribet untuk dipelajari. Look, see what's in front of you and try to say based on what you see. That's the simplest way of learning English. Melihat sesuatu dan berkomentar dan menanyakan, kita lihat cara yang paling sederhana dalam belajar bahasa Inggris. If anyone doesn't want to say hi to Randall and Grant, they will say bye. Okay, let's move on to the next discussion. Expression in a variety of situation. Jadi bahasa Inggris itu sama seperti bahasa lain, banyak sekali expression, banyak sekali ungkapan yang bisa digunakan di berbagai situasi. Nah, daripada aku memberikan kayak 20-30 list kata yang banyak banget, definitely can do that in Google. Aku ingin ngobrol tentang kenapa di situasi yang berbeda, itu seringkali kita menggunakan vibes dan vocabulary yang berbeda juga, sama kayak bahasa Indonesia, ya kan? Nah, kita mungkin mulai dengan it is nice to dan it was nice to. Bedanya cuma is dan was, tapi penggunaannya beda banget nih. It is nice to itu biasanya kan kita pakai saat kita baru pertama ketemu orang atau baru pertama akan melakukan sesuatu. Misalnya, oh it is nice to meet you here. For example, oh it is nice to see you here. It is nice to do this here. Misalnya. Sedangkan it was nice to umumnya saat kita sudah mau selesai. Misalnya, oh it was nice to meet you but I have to go. Misalnya, it was nice to do this but I have to do this other thing, for example. Jadi penggunaan is dan was itu definitely important. Cukup penting, meskipun sebenarnya ekspresinya sama aja. Kemudian, I'd love to dan I'd love to but. I'd love to itu biasanya kita gunakan sebagai kalimat sendiri kadang. Kayak, oh, you ask me out on a karaoke misalnya. Oh, I'd love to. Sedangkan I'd love to but itu kita taruh di awal kalimat. Different vibes. I'd love to itu oh aku mau, aku suka ini dan aku mau. Sedangkan I'd love to but aku suka ini tapi aku kayaknya tuh belum mau deh untuk sekarang, for example. Another one that we can see in in professional setting. Ekspresi lainnya bisa kita lihat di setting profesional. Itu adalah ini, I'll keep in touch dan I'll get back to you. I'll keep in touch itu biasanya kalau aku yang akan, kalau kita berdua yang akan saling kontak-kontakan. It's not just from me but also from you, for example. Oh, okay, I'll keep in touch. Oh, okay, we'll keep in touch, misalnya. So on and so forth. Sedangkan I'll get back to you itu berarti I'm the one who's going to do the contacting to you later on. Ya kan? Jadi agak beda tuh penggunaannya. Nah, kemudian ini menurutku cukup umum kita pakai. Ada good luck dan I hope so. Good luck and I hope so. Sebenarnya sama-sama mengharapkan hal yang baik. Ya nggak sih? Mengharapkan keberuntungan, misalnya mengharapkan sesuatu untuk terjadi misalnya. Tapi good luck itu biasanya untuk sesuatu yang masih 50-50 chance. Misalnya, oh, good luck on your competition. Selamat, semoga beruntung di kompetisinya, misalnya kan. Sedangkan kalau kita menggunakan I hope so, itu berarti kita mengharapkan satu hal yang pasti baik. Misalnya, oh, it's not going to rain hard today. I hope so. Hari ini nggak akan hujan deras. Semoga aja begitu, misalnya. Right? So, those two are different. Sama dengan just a moment dan wait a minute. Dua-duanya berarti tunggu dulu sebentar, tapi penggunaannya umumnya berbeda. Just a moment, we usually say just a moment in more formal settings. Biasanya kita mengatakan just a moment di kondisi yang lebih formal, sedangkan wait a minute itu kondisi yang lebih kasual, kita sama teman dan lain sebagainya. These expressions definitely will help us in speaking in English, definitely because we can use it in a variety of situation. Bisa kita gunakan di situasi yang macam-macam banget, yang berbeda-beda banget. Nah, perlu dicatat? Nggak perlu dicatat sih, kan ini bukan kelas ya sebenarnya. Situasi yang berbeda itu biasanya kita menggunakan vibes yang berbeda juga. Cara bicara, nada bicara, dan lain sebagainya. Sama seperti bahasa Indonesia atau bahasa yang lainnya pada dasarnya. If I say, oh, thank you very much, versus, oh, thank you very much. That's like a very different thing, right? The first one is genuine. Yang pertama itu tulus. Aduh, makasih banget sudah nolongin. Sedangkan yang kedua itu sarkastik dan lain sebagainya. Jadi meskipun seringkali yang nge-carry kita dalam conversation itu bukan kemampuan kita untuk mengetahui vocabulary necessarily, yang nge-carry kita di conversation itu lebih ke bagaimana kita membawa diri kita melalui tone, melalui vibes yang kita bawa dan lain sebagainya. Meskipun ada mispronunciation, misspelling dan lain sebagainya, selama feeling kita terkomunikasikan, saat kita senang kita komunikasikan itu, saat kita sedih bisa komunikasikan itu, kita merasa respectful juga bisa mengkomunikasikan itu melalui tone, gerak tubuh, gesture, dan lain sebagainya. That's already good. Jadi kembali ke poin pertama yang aku ceritain sebelumnya, seringkali yang bikin kita takut bicara bahasa Inggris itu adalah ketakutan untuk dijudge. Padahal yang dijudge orang itu bukan bahasa Inggrisnya, tapi you. Are you giving off good vibes or bad vibes, for example? Right? Jadi itu yang perlu menurutku lebih penting untuk diutamakan. Di situasi apapun. Ngomong-ngomong soal situasi, mari kita bersituasi ria dulu. Mari kita role play dulu deh. Ting. Right, so this is the next activity I'd like to do today. So I want you guys to picture, right? Aku ingin teman-teman mengimajinasikan dulu di kepalanya. That you are a knight. Kalian adalah ksatria. Dan ini adalah 4 situasi yang dihadapi oleh seorang ksatria. I want you guys to choose one situation and tell me what can you say in that situation. Maybe I'll go first. Aku duluan deh. Anggap aja aku adalah ksatria. Terus misalnya seseorang, someone ask me why I decide to become a knight. Seorang bertanya kenapa aku memilih untuk menjadi ksatria, ya kan? It's because I'd love to help other people. For example, karena ksatria itu tugasnya menolong orang lain. Or maybe I say, because I want to create a better world for everyone. Because I hope so. The world can be better for everyone. Misalnya, right? So, again, think about what will you say in this situation. Pikirkan apa yang akan teman-teman katakan di situasi ini. Bukan vocabulary-nya saja, tapi feeling apa yang ingin teman-teman komunikasikan. Perasaan apa yang ingin teman-teman komunikasikan. Jika seseorang bertanya, kenapa saya menjadi ksatria? Berarti yang ingin diketahui orang adalah, apakah ini membawa kebahagiaan bagi saya? Jika iya, maka itu yang perlu dikomunikasikan. Kayak motivator. Basically that's that. Go ahead, anyone. Silahkan siapapun pilih satu skenario dan katakan atau ceritakan kepadaku kata-kata apa yang akan dikatakan, kata-kata yang dikatakan. What sentence are you saying? What are you going to say in this situation? Go ahead, anyone who'd like to try.
Alright, anyone? Karena menurutku ini juga lumayan interesting nih, karena kita harus ngebayangin kitanya jadi apa, kita ditanyain ini kita bakal jawab apa. It's so fun. What if kayak ditanyain, kamu jadi kenapa mau jadi kesatria? Gitu.
And don't be afraid to be wrong,
Don't
ya
be
guys.
afraid. Don't be afraid.
Yes.
We're not going to judge you. We're going
True.
to be friends with you.
Kalau mau di mix sama Indonesia juga boleh kok. Yang penting
Yep.
confident dulu. Confident.
True.
That's true. That's true. Anyone wants to be a knight?
Okay. I will choose the situation that a young knight asks you for advice on being a good knight. So I will answer that being a good knight is not about attacking the dragon. It's about how you can save the world to be a better place so everyone can live happily ever after. So the world can be a better place, be a safe place for everyone. That's it.
That is good. I love that answer. Aku suka jawabannya. Itu jawaban yang sangat hopeful. Nah, jadi seperti yang aku ceritakan tadi, feelingsnya terkomunikasi dengan baik. Feelingsnya, Ray komunikasi dengan baik bahwa she's hoping for a better world dan itu dikomunikasikan ke kesatria muda yang bertanya ke dia. That is a good answer. I really really love that answer. Anyone like to answer? Mungkin ada yang pengen berantem dengan dragon. I personally would love to.
So, Sir Faisal, one of the people who believe that dragon is alive, guys.
Yep, I think they are here once. Don't get me started on that.
Well, sir, I also believe that. So we're on the same boat now.
That is good. That is good.
But
Dragon.
anyone in here who believe that dragon is alive too?
I believe.
Yes, Rachel,
Yes,
let's go.
Rachel, let's go.
I think Olive actually trying to speak. Olive, mau coba nggak?
Olive, you can try anything that you want to try. Or maybe you just want to say that the dragon is alive. Or maybe the Sword Kings is alive too. A sword knight in this era. It would be great though. I will agree to Rachel about her opinion.
I also agree with that. Anyone else would like to try? I think again, don't think about the vocabulary too much. Just think about what feelings are you trying to communicate. Come on, baby.
Lihatlah diriku.
Right, for example, maybe I'll give another example, right? The one about dragon. Bukan example sih, a little bit explanation aja, sedikit penjelasan aja. Misalnya kalau situasi di mana kesatrianya diminta untuk melawan dragon, so definitely the feelings we're trying to communicate is bravery, ya nggak sih? Feeling yang kita komunikasikan adalah kepercayaan diri, keberanian untuk menghadapi hal tersebut. Misalnya, oh berarti apa yang harus kita katakan misalnya. Sedangkan kalau misalnya, oh ada king yang menyuruh kita melakukan sesuatu, oh, we're trying to communicate respectfully. Kita ingin mengkomunikasikan rasa hormat tertentu misal. That's what's important. Understanding the feelings or like the vibes that you're giving in a certain situation is more important than thinking about vocabularies or pronunciation or spelling, whatever that is. Because this is a language, and language is about communication, communicating ideas, feelings, what have you. So, what feelings are you feeling right now, guys? I'd like to know.
Are you guys feeling happy or sad or anything? Because the feeling is valid, guys. You can feel anything. Try, guys, try. It's okay. It's fine.
Someone's trying.
Else
Go ahead.
trying to go ahead.
What will you say in this situation? In fourth situations. You can ask for help, but you're still busy fighting a dragon. Oh, I'm sorry with my king, but I'm still busy with fighting a dragon to protect all people.
Right. That is good. That is good. Thank you, Aldi, for that answer. That's good answer. There is a degree of respectfulness there. Ada kayak rasa hormat di situ. I'm sorry, my king, but I'm still busy fighting dragon to help the people, for example. That is good. That is what I mean to say. Thank you so much, Aldi, and also Rachel. Wonderful answer from both of you. Right. So basically, we're trying to communicate feelings, ideas, vibes, whatever it is. That's what we're trying to communicate, right? So I'll just move to the next slide, to the third topic that we'll be chatting about today. Keeping the conversation going. I think membuat obrolan tetap jalan, tetap segar, tetap seru, itu adalah struggle yang valid di semua bahasa ya. Kayaknya bahkan di bahasa Indonesia pun kita kadang seringkali sulit untuk membuat percakapannya tetap seru misalnya. So definitely these tactics, quote unquote tactics, will prove useful in whatever language you're speaking. Di bahasa apapun yang teman-teman omongin tetap akan berguna pada akhirnya. Nah, intinya itu ada 3. Listen, hook, and ask. Dengerin, temukan, tanya. Maksudnya gimana tuh? So when someone is talking to us, kalau ada yang lagi ngobrol dengan kita, ya nggak sih? Kita harus denger dulu. Karena basic etiquette aja sih, kita harus denger orang lagi ngomong, for example. But we're not just listening for the sake of listening, we're trying to find a hook. Kita mencoba mencari a common interest, an interesting statement, a personal opinion, anything yang menurut kita, oh ini menarik nih, oh ini kayaknya asik nih. And after that, we just ask, we just give them a question based on the hook that you find. Mungkin orang ini tiba-tiba bilang, oh menurut aku bumi itu datar. Oh, wait, what? Sumpah lah betul-betul, for example, right? Oh, berarti aku akan bertanya tentang bumi datar. Kenapa kamu percaya bumi datar? Apa yang melatar belakangi keyakinan tersebut, misalnya kan? Also applies in English. If someone just, telling a story, oh, I just bought a new car and I go around town, yada yada, so on and so forth. Oh, a new car. What brand is your new car? What is the maximum speed limit of your new car, for example? Things like that. Jadi kita akan temukan hook itu, dan pun kita tanya. Over and over and over again, akan banyak sekali hal yang kita ketahui dari orang tersebut. Life hack for first date also applies. Okay. So, that's that. I would really like to do this with you guys. So, the next activity would be tell me about you. I want to know about you. Not you as a knight, not you as someone, whatever. I want to know you. So can anyone just go ahead, raise their hand maybe, and tell me about one of these things. Misalnya Rachel ingin ceritain greatest movie of all time menurut Rachel apa. Go ahead and tell me that, and I'll keep a conversation going about that. Go ahead. This is not scripted. Don't think about vocabularies. Don't think about anything. Just say something about these four topics. Go ahead.
Um, can I try with my favorite drinks and food?
Go ahead, Kak Bila.
For me, I love pasta and I love matcha. If anyone agree with me, because I love matcha so much and I love pasta so much. Like when I was in my kos-kosan era, I really love to cook pasta. So because it's cheap and it's easy to make, it's like almost every day I eat pasta every day.
Interesting. So aku akan respond, but I'm using the previous tactic. So the hook that I find is about pasta specifically. So I can ask maybe buat Kak Bila, pasta. What do you think about pasta compared to Indomie? Which one is better in your opinion?
Indomie is much better, but I think when you have like that a lot of time to make rice at that time, so but you're already bored with Indomie, so you can try pasta as you're choosing to eat.
Okay, very careful answer from Kak Bila. I know everyone here loves Indomie. So that's a very careful answer. Nah, jadi maksud aku begitu teman-teman. Lemparin aja pendapat teman-teman. I'll carry the conversation. Listen, hook, and ask. Dengerin, cari hal yang menarik, tanya tentang hal menarik tersebut. Basically that's that. Silakan teman-teman. Ceritakan padaku tentang salah satu dari 4 hal di layar ini. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to tell you about the greatest movie of all the time, in my opinion. So it's not a movie, actually, it's a series. It's The Pit. The movie is talking about the situation in emergency department when the situation suddenly became chaotic. Like suddenly they have to carry the red coat because there is a kasus penembakan. What is it called? Yeah, in music event, so they have to be carry the situation. They have to save everyone life that dikirimkan ke rumah sakit ya, kayak gitu.
I see. The Pit. Rachel, I want to ask about The Pit.
Yeah.
What do you think is the best part of that series that makes you feel, oh, this is the greatest movie of all time? Which part that makes you think that way? Sorry.
For me, the best part is when they have to apa itu? Aduh, aku lupa. Oh, they have to saving a lot of people life, like karena udah ada code merahnya itu mereka harus they have buru-buru gitu loh. Aku nggak tahu bahasa Inggrisnya apa tapi kayak gitu. Bener-bener to save
Okay.
everyone life in that emergency department, like they uh the blood pack itu habis gitu-gitu loh.
I see. So it's the emergency situation, right? That
Yeah,
makes
it's
that
emergency
makes it
and
fun,
chaotic. Yeah, it's
maybe.
so fun to watch.
That is cool. I also like movies where, you know, chaotic things happen. That's why I really love to watch medieval movies, if you haven't noticed by now, with all the fantasy elements and medieval elements of my screen. I really love medieval movies like Lord of the Rings, which has like a lot of chaotic elements. Maybe similar to The Pit, but similar in chaoticness, not necessarily similar in story or anything. Hmm. Thank you, Rachel, for sharing that. That was very, very fun. I'm actually now convinced to watch The Pit.
Yeah.
The
It's
Pit was good.
it's kind
It
of
is
personal. It's also my favorite series, so everyone should watch it. Right, Rachel?
Yeah.
noted on that. Okay, definitely will watch that. The
The
Pit.
Pit, yeah, it's some kind like it's long series, I think.
Yes, it has 2 seasons.
Yeah.
It tells like about all doctors in emergency department. It's really fun.
Got it. I'm not really, I don't have a problem with. I don't really have a problem with long series. I've watched Naruto front to back. No worries. I can watch it definitely. Okay. That's on series. Very fun. Thank you, Rachel, for sharing. Anyone else would like to share? I really would like to know somebody's favorite artist or like best artist to listen to when you're sad.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Maybe I will go.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I will talk about best artist to listen to when you're sad. Yeah. For me, I like to hear Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift's song, it's really mean to me. Like one of her song, it's called Begin Again. The song, it's make me feel peace. It's not about just love life. It's about anything for me. Because when I hear that song, that's make me that's open my perspective about anything. Like we can also start again about how to say that. Bagaimana kita bangkit lagi ketika kita jatuh gitu. That's what I want to say.
I see. Taylor Swift. A lot of people really love Taylor Swift, it seems. Olive, I'd like to ask something about Taylor Swift, maybe.
Yes.
What makes you feel like super hurt when you're sad? Kayak yang buat Olive merasa sangat cocok dengan lagu Taylor Swift saat sedih. Is it the lyrics? Is it the
Yes.
music? Is it
I think the lyric it's really how to say like cocok dengan apa yang situasi yang sedang aku alami gitu.
Got it.
Yes.
That is interesting. I'm going to guess, Olive. Are you also a fan of Nicki?
I like her song, but not like I fan like a Taylor Swift.
Okay, got it.
Yes.
Got it. Because I am a big fan of Nicki. If everyone else
Yeah.
agrees.
I like her song.
Okay. Taylor Swift, Begin Again. Aside from Begin Again, which other Taylor Swift do you feel like you would recommend to everyone feeling kind of sad today?
Apa ya? I forget.
The One?
Yeah.
What about The One?
Yeah, the one. It's also good.
What about Cardigan, Olive? What do you think about Cardigan, Olive?
Cardigan is also good to hear.
I'm a Swifties too. I love Cardigan so much.
Everyone's a Swiftie, I see.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for sharing, Olive. Again, kind of convinced me to start listening to Taylor Swift now. Yeah, everyone made very good case about their favorite artist and their favorite movie. Anyone else would like to say something? Mungkin ada tandingan kayak, bagi saya Grey's Anatomy lebih bagus dari Dr. Pitt misalnya. I don't know, man. That's not my opinion, but maybe someone have that opinion. Nah,
Oh my God.
siapapun yang ingin berbagi, mungkin ngomongin tentang things you'd like to do in the weekends, or maybe your own favorite movie. My personal favorite, super favorite movie will be Lord of the Rings. If anyone watched that, definitely give a shout out. Wonderful, wonderful movie. Astaghfirullah. Wonderful movie. I can't even pronounce things right. Okay. Yeah. Anyone would like to share their own stories, their own movies, their own songs that they like to listen to? I'm really hoping for at least one more person, please, to share. Go ahead, everyone.
Or maybe your favorite and your favorite food and favorite drink, guys. Or maybe if you have another opinion beside the topic that Sir Faisal give it to you, it's fine. It's all right. We would like to hear you.
What about Anissa or Yuki or Aldi want to try too? Come on, guys. Let's practice together.
Maybe you have an opinion on my haircut. People said my haircut is bad.
Oh, no comments.
What do you think, guys? I think it's not that bad. It's just looks good on you. It's just not look so bad on you.
Aldi, do you want to
Do
try?
you want
Because
to try?
I saw you like trying to
Open
open
it.
your mic.
Yeah, I would like to try too. I would like to try talking about my favorite food and drinks. I don't think I don't have any particular favorite foods, but I do have my favorite drinks. That is coffee.
Wow, coffee. I think coffee carries my whole day sometimes. What kind of coffee do you consume the most? What kind of coffee do you drink the most, Aldi?
I think I have drink latte the most, perhaps.
Latte, same as me. I can't really stand Americano. I don't get why people love Americano. Really love latte, by the way. Aside from latte, maybe coffee, any other drinks you feel like maybe this comes number second in my favorite list? My personal favorite list number second would be tea, but specifically Thai tea. I feel like I really love that so much. What about you, Aldi? What is your second most favorite?
I guess I like milk.
That makes sense. Latte people will always love milk also. That's like two peas in a pod. All right. Yeah, same with me. Same as me. Really love milk also. Thank you, Aldi, for sharing your favorite drinks. Again, I think a lot of people are being carried by coffee. Any other things you'd like to
Yes.
share? Maybe other things you'd like to say? I see Anissa is raising her hand. Go ahead, Anissa. What are you going to share?
So I'm gonna go with things I like to do in the weekends. So there are some activities. I like to go to the beach and watching the sunset. And then I like to go to the mall and do just window shopping and then just laying on the bed.
I really, really relate with the last part. I love to lay on bed, but maybe on beach, right? Aside from looking at the sunset, what kind of activity do you love the most in the beach? Maybe you like building sandcastles, or maybe you like swimming. other activities you do in the beach?
So because I cannot swim, so I'm just like to playing or just run or uh enjoy my drinking and snacking.
Hmm? Same as me, I also cannot swim, but beach is always fun. On the mall, are you the type of person who goes to the movies also? Because usually there are cinemas in the malls, right? Are you also the type of person who enjoys watching movies in cinemas?
Yes, I like to watch some movies, but I don't like the horror and the thriller ones because I I'm afraid of them. So
I
I just
see,
like
I see.
the one, the comedy and the romance.
Mm, romance. Any specific I'm going back to the topic of movies now. Any specific romance movie you feel like you can recommend to everyone here, Anissa?
Hmm, I forgot some movies because lately I'm not watching some movies. I'm sorry. I cannot.
No problem. No big deal. Yeah, I agree. Laying on the bed, number one for me. But going to third spaces like beaches, malls, definitely is also very, very fun. Anything else you'd like to share, Anissa?
I think that's it for me. Thank
Ah,
you.
thank you, thank you. Right. So, the floor is still open if anyone else would like to say. Maybe people who've spoken before, like Rachel, Olive, Albi, you can definitely also say something else. Maybe even something beyond the topics that I have given. Maybe you'd like to say, in my opinion, PlayStation is better than Xbox. I don't know. I can talk to you guys about anything. I have a very wide idea on things happening in the world. So, anyone
Um,
like to go second? Oh, Olive, go ahead.
yeah, I want to talk about what things I like to do in the weekend. Yeah, I like spend my time to do Netflix and chill at home. Yeah, I recently watching on Netflix Agent Kim Reactivated because I like watching movie or series with genre thriller or mystery. So when weekend, I think it's a rest day for me. So I like to watching movie and I like to do sport like running or some exercise at home like that.
I see, I see. Netflix and chill, but also exercise at home. That's a very good balance on physical activity and, leisure activity.
Yeah,
Wonderful, Olive. Talking about Netflix, right? There's a lot of good animated shows on Netflix. Okay. So many cartoons, so many animated shows in Netflix. Are you one of the one who watches that kind of shows in Netflix?
no, I think like animated. I'm not that much to watch. I like watching like a Korean series or movies, but animated not that much. I watching
I
uh,
see.
like that.
I
Yeah,
see. I see. Hmm. Korean series. K-drama, enjoy it.
yeah,
Are you watching? This is one of
yes,
the K-dramas that I'm watching lately. Are you watching Teach You a Lesson? In
yes, of course.
Of course, very, very
That's
sure. Right. I
yes,
really
that's
enjoyed
a
that
good
series.
series.
Looking
Yes.
forward to the second season. Which part do you enjoy the most about your weekend, Miss Olive? Is it the fact that you don't really do anything, or maybe a specific activity that I'm waiting to do this in my weekend?
I sometimes I think I don't want to like chill, like just watching Netflix and chill, but I think I want to do some productive activities, so I do some sport and yeah, exercise like that.
That is cool. Being productive on the weekend, but
Yeah,
productive in
yeah,
a
yeah.
fun way, right? Not productive as in
Yes.
work. That is good. That is interesting. Anything else you'd like to share, Olive?
Just like that.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I relate to you. Weekends are always fun because we can decide what we're going to do, right? Even when we're being productive in a fun way. Very, very,
Yes.
yeah, I agree with that. Very, very much so. Anyone else would like to say something else? Ada yang ingin bicara lagi? Someone else would like to say something?
I want to continue the conversation because I really like Teacher Listen and Agent Kim, but I think it's better to me to read in webtoon than watch it in Netflix because in the webtoon the visual and the story is really good. Like the way the creator create the whole story is really perfect and it's really cool. So
I see.
I'd rather be to read on webtoon.
Reading on webtoons.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm also a huge fan of reading comics and webtoons. What makes you think? Give me at least one specific answer when you're watching the series based on webtoons or comics. Which part that you can say, oh, this is worse than the comic? Oh, I can see this better in the comic. Can you give me one part that makes you feel that way?
It's not the worst, but I think in the comic the story is being the story is more specifically like the ending like in the comic is more specific and lebih dapat gitu cerita keseluruhannya daripada yang di the Netflix. 'Cause in the Netflix, this whole story is being so short. So
Ah,
ya kayak gitu.
I agree.
It's like there's no explanation here, Miss Rachel.
Ya kalau di komik kan lebih lagi kan.
I agree with Rachel. I think
Yeah.
me and Rachel is actually twins. Like we're handsome.
That's awesome. Right. So, I agree with that. I agree with what Rachel said. A lot of the times it's so rushed when it's being adapted into something in another media. Maybe I'm going to give one example that I don't know if any of you guys here watch. I really love Avatar: The Last Airbender. Bald guy, small kid. There is a Netflix adaptation for that, which I think is so bad. It's to a point where I feel like I'm insulting myself watching that. It's not just because first reason, same as Rachel, a lot of things are very rushed, very quickly done, which is way better in the cartoons, right? But also, there's a lot of choices that makes me question, do these people actually watch the show or not, right? So yeah, when we already love a media in its original form, sometimes it's hard to love in the other form, right? Yeah, that's just human nature, I believe. Um, Thank you, Miss Rachel. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, that's
Okay, right. Very wonderful talk. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Olive. Anyone else would like to say something? Maybe comment on what the other guys have said before you. Maybe you feel like, oh, maybe going back into conversations about coffee with Alvin previously. I don't agree with coffee being a favorite drink. My favorite drink is actually ginger. I don't know, for example, right? Those kind of things. I'm still giving the floor to you guys before I move to the other slide. So go ahead and talk. We're here just to speak. Wow, 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 wow.
I wanna ask Mr. Aldi, is it okay that what kind of any other any other kind of coffee that you like other than latte? Because I do love lattes too, but sometimes latte can get more bitter. So I prefer caramel macchiato sometimes.
Mm, I see. What do you think, Mr. Aldi?
Mr. Aldi, are you there?
Okay. So I think we can move um to the next session. Hopefully the speaking session has been fun for everyone. But I'd like to talk to you guys about something before we close the session, specifically about thinking in English, right? So we're all here English as second speaker, right? We're second speaker in English. Kita bukan native most of the time. Kita bukan native. We're not native. That's what makes it hard, right? When we're listening in English, what we're looking for, our first instinct, is to think in translation, is to think in what is actually the meaning of this word in my language? What is the meaning of this word in Indonesia, for example, right? That's what makes it hard for us to speak because we're constantly looking for what is this word in Indonesia before saying what is the actual word I want to say in English, right? So that's a two-step verification before we actually say something, right? So I'm going to propose this for everyone here. Stop with the translation. Stop thinking in translation and start thinking in English. How can we do that? When we're trying to say something, context clues are important. This is why I start the discussion with, showing you guys that feelings matter, vibes matter. Sometimes more than the vocabularies that you guys use, more than the words and sentence that you guys use. Context clues. What is the context of this situation? Am I speaking casually? Am I speaking formally? Am I speaking to people younger than me or older than me? Context clues matter. Because again, vibes carries a lot more weight than vocabularies. And then synonym or similar words can definitely help if I cannot explain something, right? I'm thinking also, not thinking, what is this in Indonesia? What is this in my language? But rather, I'm thinking, what is another word that I can use to describe this? For example, I'm looking at a fashion, a clothing, anything that is so bad, like so bad. I don't know what to say, how bad it is, for example, right? So I'm thinking about something synonymous to bad. Oh, I can say worse. I can say this is vomit. Vomit means "Ugh," right? Oh, this is vomit. Oh, this is something that you should not wear, for example. So I forgot. For example, I'm in Indonesia. Aku lupa bahasa Inggrisnya buruk itu apa. But I know that this is buruk. So let's think about other words that can describe buruk, right? That can describe that word that I'm looking for. Another way we can do it is by using common usage, right? What is the common usage for this word, for example? Oh, it's usually used for this. It's usually for this. It's usually for this. Even when sometimes it doesn't make sense if we think about it logically. For example, door. Door itu artinya pintu, right? But for example, I don't know what door means, but people usually refer to going out of the house to the door. So I can just say, oh, it's probably means something that you go out of the door with, right? So we're talking about common usage. If you see my explanation here, I said engaging with English through finding translation can be useful, but relying on translation to understand everything can be detrimental to your English learning. Even if you don't know what detrimental means exactly in Indonesia, but you can use it because detrimental here refers to something that is not good, right? So I can use that even if I don't know what it means. I can use it because I know how it is used, when it is used, so on and so forth. And then there's intent and tone, basically like I explained before. No need to repeat the explanation. And then substitute words. We can substitute words with anything that we can do, that we can say. For example, I want to say, oh, I respect you, for example. I really respect you and I love you as a person that I fully respect, for example. But I cannot say that because I forgot what is respect in English, for example. I substitute the words with something else. Oh, you're king. You're my king. Come on, you're my king. Let's say. substituting words has been the basis of most of what we're saying, most of modern English slang, most of queer slangs, most of African American slangs, for example. It's about substituting one word with another word with similar meaning or similar stature. For example, oh, you're king. Or like, I want to say, oh, you're killing it. You're killing it with that. I forgot what kill means, but I remember slay. So I'm saying, oh, you're slay, you're slay, you're slay. For example, right? Why do I say slay so awkwardly? I don't know. But yeah, that's that. Yeah, so substituting words, mengganti satu kata dengan kata yang lain works so long as it makes sense. But even if it doesn't make sense, at least we know that we means well because we say it with a good intent and good tone, right? Nah, kemudian ada word form atau types. So let's say I'm going to explain an action. Aku ingin menjelaskan sebuah tindakan. The action being fixing the door, right? But I forgot fix. I don't know what fix means. Aku tidak tahu bahasa Inggris yang memperbaiki apa. But I know that it is a verb. Aku tahu ini adalah kata kerja. So I'm thinking, what other verbs that I can use to talk about this, right? So let's say I forgot fix, but I remember work. So I say, oh, I'm working on the door. I forgot work, but I remember repair. I'm repairing the door, for example. I forgot repair, but I remember, I don't know, walking. I'm walking the door right now, for example. Whatever it is, we remember the word form. We remember that it's a verb. We remember that it is a noun. We remember that it is an adjective, for example. And let's just substitute that. So whenever we're stumped, setiap kali kita macet, setiap kali kita berhenti, aduh, mau apa ya? Don't think about, ini bahasa Indonesianya apa ya? That's kind of like a really slow mindset. Slow as in akan butuh banyak waktu untuk nemuin jawabannya. So instead, use these guides to try to find what other English words that I already know that might replace this word, right? So that's that. Before I close, maybe, I want to say one important thing. I want to say to everyone here that don't put native speaker on a pedestal. Jangan terlalu mengeluh-elukan native speaker. Not saying that I have anything against native speaker, by the way. Just saying that native speakers also speak English in sometimes incomplete or imperfect forms, right? That's why slangs like yas, slay, things of that nature that are not necessarily grammatically correct English can still thrive, can still exist, can still live, specifically because we allow it to do so. English is a very flexible language, but you don't really need to think that much sometimes in order to be able to speak. So, remember, don't think in translation, but rather think in English. I think that's my final tips for everyone here in terms of speaking. So, thank you very much, everyone. Maybe I'm giving it back to Kak Gita and Kak Bila. I don't know if we have time for questions, but I would, again, really love to answer questions if you guys do have any. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Faisal. The insight is really good for us. If you guys have another questions for Sir Faisal, you can raise your hand or just on your mic. It's fine. It's okay. Just ask anything what you want. Ask anything that you need. Hope Sir Faisal can answer that. Ayo teman-teman, kalau masih ada yang mau bertanya, kita masih bolehin, kita masih open, so open about it. Kalau kayak tips and tricks speaking supaya lebih nyaman bisa. Kalau pengen speakingnya lancar bisa kita kasih tipsnya. Apakah ada teman-teman yang ingin menanyakan hal tersebut? Atau hal lain yang pengen kalian tanyakan kepada Sir Faisal? Or I think it's enough? It's okay if we close this, Kak Gita?
Yeah, sure. Or let's wait for 1 minute. Kayak
Oke.
misalnya yang lainnya nih masih mikir
Apa ya? Mau nanya
apa ya?
Boleh kita
Boleh,
tungguin. Atau kayak mau tanya misalnya survival udah berapa lama ngajar bahasa Inggris atau terpapar dengan bahasa Inggris sudah berapa lama? Boleh banget gitu. Kayak survivalnya gimana sih cara ngomong lancar bahasa Inggris kok bisa sampai selancar ini bisa? Boleh banget. Because karena kita tahu kalau kita pengen lancar akan suatu hal yang perlu kita lakukan adalah berlatih. Betul kan teman-teman?
Agree, agree.
Practice makes perfect.
Practice makes perfect. Benar-benaran practice makes perfect. Nggak ada orang, kecuali dia memang orang bule. Tapi kalau kebanyakan orang Indonesia, dia pasti akan practice dulu. Nggak ada orang yang baru lahir langsung bisa. Semuanya selalu diawali dengan practice.
That is true. That is true. I agree with that. As a person who, train other people in English for a living, I agree with that. There is a difference between people who, learn English and people who not.
We have question from Aldi Dharma. Bagaimana cara ngomong lancar kalau basic komunikasinya sendiri masih belum terbiasa?
Okay, this is a good question, right? I think easiest way to speak fluently in English is to disregard basic grammar rules sometimes. Terkadang yang membuat kita takut bicara bahasa Inggris, bukan takut, tidak lancar bicara bahasa Inggris, adalah kita melihat Inggris atau bahasa Inggris itu sebagai level. Aku harus level ini dulu, baru aku bisa melakukan level ini, right? Basic communications in English, there's a lot of definition on basic communications, right? Asking for direction is a basic communication, but also at the same time, explaining an academic phenomenon might be a basic communication also. So we don't really need to conquer basic communication, because basic communication also means a lot of different things in a lot of different ways. What we need is simply the ability to disregard rules sometimes, because fluency doesn't necessarily require understanding of grammar, nor does it require understanding or expertise in basic communication. Fluency just means that you are able to speak in a way that other people can understand. And even if you're missing vocabularies, even if your 2B are missing, your SMR are not in the right place, so long as you're able to communicate it clearly, through intent, through tone, that's what matters in speaking fluently. This is why English proficiency tests are always going to score you based on fluency and pronunciation, as opposed to just pure pronunciation, right? Because fluency, pronunciation, totally different thing. Ability to speak well and ability to understand the rules of English, totally different thing. So, again, Aldi, from what we've talked about today, you already have a good grasp in English. And what's needed is simply the ability or like the willingness to disregard the rules sometimes. Just to say something, say it out loud. Might sound kind of cliche, but I believe that's what I believe.
True. Agree with what Sir Faisal said. Anyone?
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Khalif.
Iya,
Silakan.
aku mau nanya nih buat Sir Faisal, apa yang harus kita lakuin tiap hari buat belajar bahasa Inggris agar bahasa Inggris kita itu lebih berkembang? Mungkin ada tips gitu loh, Kak.
Okay, thank you, Olive. Wonderful question. I think two things matters in learning English, right? Habits and review. Menurut aku dua hal ini aja. Dua hal ini yang paling penting dalam belajar bahasa Inggris. This is something that makes me also something that I do in order to be able to, speak in English. Speak, write, talk, whatever. Dua hal itu adalah habit dan review. Pertama, kita ngebangun habit. We're building habits of listening in English, songs, videos, whatever it is. We're building habits of prioritizing English speaking media as opposed to our own native media. So for example, if I'm looking for, aku pengen membongkar stop kontak karena stop kontak aku rusak. Logically, we're just going to open, cara membongkar stop kontak. But no, we have to prioritize English. So even in situations where it is trivial, hal-hal kecil aja, kita membuka atau mengakses informasi yang berbahasa Inggris. Because we're building habits of listening in English, right? That's one. Second is review. I'm sure from the stories that you've told me, Olive, you really love to watch medias, foreign medias, English-speaking medias, even Korean-speaking medias. So many different types of language that you consume, right? Yang didengar oleh Olive banyak sekali nih bahasa-bahasanya nih, right? But what we also need is review, kemampuan untuk mengulas. Bukan mengulas dalam arti membuka buku catatan dan lain sebagainya, but more so applying what we heard. Kita dengar satu kata, dua kata, satu kalimat, dua kalimat, satu bahasa, dua bahasa. We're trying to say that, right? I think in review, you can definitely do it externally, talking with other people, or if that's hard, talk to yourself or inner speak. So every person, I'm sure, have their own ways of monologuing their lives. Semua orang pasti punya cara untuk memonologkan hidup mereka, ya kan? Kayak ada narasinya aja nih. Kadang lagi naik motor kita ngomong-ngomong sendiri gitu kan, menceritakan hari kita. Or maybe that's just me and I'm delusional, I don't know. Definitely during these moments where you're trying to speak for yourself about your own day, definitely try to use English because you're the only one who's going to listen to this. And this will create a mental image, gambaran di pemikiran Olive, for example. Aku sudah bisa menggunakan aku sudah bisa menggunakan kata-kata ini, aku sudah bisa menggunakan kalimat ini. Misalnya hal-hal seperti itu. So that's that. I think that's that. Maybe on your question, any tips on making it fluent, speaking in English, learning English, two things matters: building habits and definitely reviewing anything you heard through external speaking with other people or internal speaking to yourself. Maybe writing can help you better if you feel like that. Diary helps you can also do that. Or maybe if you feel like, writing essays better, I like to write essays on topics and then just keeping it somewhere in some folders. Definitely can do that also, but you need to do some speaking or writing as a review to what you've heard. I think that's that. Sorry for the answer, quite long.
That's fine, sir. It's so give insight for me too. Is there anyone to ask? Pertanyaan Kak Olive tadi bagus banget sih menurutku. Dan jawabannya dari Sir Faisal juga semoga Kak Olive mendapat jawaban yang Kak Olive inginkan ya Kak. Oh, about anyone?
Well, I think it's time to wrap it.
All
Because
right.
it's already jam 2:16.
It's because we have talked a lot Kak. Karena
Yes.
pembahasannya seru banget sih hari ini. Terus jadi nggak kerasa sekarang udah jam 2.
Benar,
Wonderful,
grateful
wonderful.
banget. Grateful banget
Betul.
karena semuanya aktif.
Betul. So love it. Banyak
Before
teman-teman yang
we
ternyata
end, gimana kok kita foto bareng?
bener ayo kayak
What do you
teman-teman
think, guys? Let's take a
em,
picture together.
kalau ada yang mau mengaktifkan kameranya, kalian willing to do it, please to do it karena kita mau take a picture together.
Okay, let's wait until jam 2:18 ya. Jadi yang mau getting ready dulu.
Getting ready dulu, pakai lipsticknya, pakai kerudungnya boleh.
Boleh banget. Tadi fun banget sih, Sir.
Jujur
Kan
iya,
dia
fun
gila
banget.
sih, seru
Iya.
banget.
Padahal kayak banyak banget pembahasan sekecil apapun ternyata itu tuh bisa jadi pembahasan loh.
Iya,
Jadi bisa
benar.
juga ngelatih cara kita ngomong, ngelatih kita vocabulary yang kita punya.
It's true. Terus semuanya pada aktif, so it's fun. Karena
Betul.
kita bisa ngomong sama semuanya yang di sini.
So happy. Apalagi kayak dengar tiba-tiba ada teman-teman yang nonton drama Korea. Ada teman-teman yang ternyata nonton juga seriesnya yang seru. Aduh,
Yes, yes.
The Pitt itu.
Oke deh,
Oke.
mungkin belum ada yang pengen open camera, but it's okay. Please watch Lord of the Ring.
Will do.
Kak Rachel, Hai kakak.
Rachel. Okay, please Kak Gita take a picture of it.
Okay. Kak Olive juga.
Kak Olive juga. Hai.
Kak Aldi juga.
Hai Kak Aldi. Hai Kak Aldi.
Halo semuanya. Oh, it's fun, guys. It's really fun. Thank you for joining us. And let's take a picture together. So I'm gonna count 1, 2, 3. 1,
Okay, 1, 2. Okay, another pose,
Great.
guys.
Another
Like your
pose, another
own
pose.
pose.
Okay, 1, 2.
1, 2. Alright, so
Alright.
happy to
Thank
have you
you.
guys here. I think that's enough for us. That's our work for today. Semoga kita bisa bertemu di webinar-webinar selanjutnya ya teman-teman. Bye. Have a good weekend.
Have a
Selamat
great
malam minggu.
Bye.
See you
Thank you
on the
semuanya.
next
Bye. See you on the next
event.
webinar.
Anytime.
Bye
See you next time.
bye.
Bye bye.